Well, I did it. I I killed my strider. I was flying. I got tangled up in a tree branch. I cut them. I tried to fly out of it, but the tree branch was wrapped around the motor, so I disarmed and it sort of tumbled down onto my gravel driveway, and it must have landed like dead right on the thing because it snapped right off. I've taken falls harder than that, faster than that, and not broken a thing. But this one did the trick. It that's the end of that. So I wanted to take the opportunity to talk to you a little bit about the Strider Flex and its folding arm design. And one of the advantages of the Strider, one of the selling points, I guess, of the Strider frame is that the arms fold in a crash. And I have always found that to be more bothersome than helpful. That's just my personal experience. Like, you know how you see pilots and they'll crash and then they'll be right side up, so they'll just blip the throttle and they'll take right back off again. Well, I never felt safe doing that with my Strider because I was never sure if an arm was bent, and if I throttled up, was it going to cut something important? So, what I did was, well, first of all, when I went from 6 inch to 5 inch, of course, there's much less leverage on the arms, and so they're less likely to fold. But the other thing I did was I got some brass M3 washers, which you can see right there, and I installed them on both sides. It's on the top and the bottom of that bolt that keeps the arm from moving. And that does the trick, as you can see over here. Because I have to tell you, this is the first time in almost a year, I think, of owning this frame that I have been sure that if the arm had folded, it wouldn't have broke. I'm pretty sure that if this had been able to fold, it wouldn't have broke. So the other times, and I've only broken two arms, by the way, and one of them had been on there for probably 9 months, and it was a very, very small crash onto some grass. So I think it was just kind of its time to go. Whereas this one, I don't know if this is the new one or not. Actually, I couldn't honestly tell you. But you know, there's a 1 in 4 chance that this was, or 3 in 4 chance that this was an old one, and 1 in 4 chance it was the new one. So anyway, I'm pretty sure that if this had been able to fold, it wouldn't have broke, and I clamped it down there so tight that it didn't fold and it did break. So I wanted to pass this on to anybody else out there who has a Strider frame, that if you don't like the arms folding, one thing you can do is you can get some brass washers, and you can see also I barely have any threads on here, just barely. I mean, I was able to get enough threads. You may need to get some longer screws to make room for the washers. That's your call. And that will give you a lot more surface area to bite. It'll also help keep the screws from wallowing out the carbon fiber, and that's good. And it'll keep those arms from moving. But it may increase your odds of breaking an arm in a crash. It's up to you. The other thing that I like about this is that if the arms are constantly moving back and forth, right here they rub on the PDB, and eventually they rub through the solder mask on the PDB. This is actually the bottom plate, not the PDB. PDB is over there. But they rub through the solder mask on the PDB, and then you'll get your arms will be grounded, and anyway, other things that sort of don't seem good. So I prefer the arms to be stationary, and this is a way that if you feel the same way, you can do that to help. Just get some M3 brass washers. They're cheap as beans, as Bruce would say, and just order them off the internet and put them on there. And that's how I prefer to run them. Okay, hope that's helpful, and happy flying.